Hi, I'm Risa, absent and grateful. Weigh and measure 3 meals a day. Call them into my loving sponsor and don't eat no matter what. My abstinence date is July 8th, 2019. Yeah, I'll have 5 years if I make it to July 8th. Um, thank you, Stephanie, for asking me to speak. And thank you, Karen, for leading the meeting, and Stacy for timing. Um, I actually sat down about an hour ago to prepare, and my daughter called and she wanted to FaceTime me because she bought some clothing and she wanted me to see it. And my kids are number one in my life. Of course, absences, but my kids, I'm always there for them no matter what. So I think that's a good thing because I didn't write down my entire life story, and today I'm just going to talk. Um, So I've been a compulsive eater most of my life. I believe that the first trauma we have is not getting our bottle. And so food is the first trauma and the first solution. We get the bottle, we're happy. You can't have alcohol when you're a baby, you can't do anything else. So to me, food is the first obsession that we could have. And I think we're the smart ones because we found it really early. um Found the thing that made us feel better. So I was on every diet, like a lot of you in the whole world. I went to diet overnight camp. I worked. My mom got me a job at the Weight Watchers store. We had a store that made Weight Watchers stuff, and uh, just every new diet. We cleaned out my mom's house. She's alive, but she moved, and we cleaned it out a couple years ago. And she had um, 100 books on 100 different diets. And then she had 75 books, which were cookbooks. And, you know, the most thing to my, the most important thing to my mom was being thin. And so that's what I learned. The most important thing was being thin. And um, my mom would always eat nothing. And my best friend, she was super skinny and she would eat nothing. And I felt like I was the only person in the world who couldn't, go to a restaurant and eat nothing. I Why did I always want food when they could just, eat these tiny things? And I realized just a couple of years ago that's because they're food addicts too. Their food addiction is controlling and not eating, and anorexics and bulimics and overeaters, we're all food addicts in just different, manifestations. And my whole life, I wanted to be an anorexic. I wanted to be a bulimic, but I couldn't do that. I didn't realize again until a few years ago that anorexics and bulimics are in just as much pain as me, if not more. And even though I know that, I would still love it. It's still in my head, that sick thought. Why could I? Why can't I just go without eating? But anyway, I've been on diets my whole life. I've done, like, I've heard in these gray sheet meetings so many behaviors that I've done my whole life and didn't know that anybody else did them. It had to be just me who moved things around on the plate so it looked like I was eating the same as everybody else. It had to be, just me who actually prayed for a stomach flu to lose weight. Um, it had to be just me who hid my food, who threw out the wrappers out the window and boxes and bags. Nobody could eat as much as I could eat when I binge. And I'm going to be hodgepodge, but that it's such a huge thing coming into Gray Sheet and knowing that I'm not alone, because my whole life I felt like an alien. There was something about me that I didn't have that everybody else in the world had. I didn't know what it was, but something was missing there. I was an alien. My dad did leave when I was 7, wound up marrying my mom's best friend. And that was a huge abandonment for me. When he left, my mom became severely depressed, understandably. So I was an emotional orphan when I was young. I had nobody to tell anything to. And I just, I didn't get what I could have gotten from healthy parents. Not that anybody has healthy parents. I haven't, heard too many, but I guess I'll talk about that too. most of my life I blamed my father for all my problems. He left and married my mom's best friend, and I was best friends with her daughter. So it felt like my dad left to take care of my best friend instead of me. Poor me. Uh, Gosh, it was about 5 years ago now. I was mad at him most of my life. And about 5 years ago, I was in the car with my daughter, and she said, I'm going to dinner with Grandpa on Tuesday. And I turned and I said, well, I think I'll go too. And it was like a miracle. My anger that I had my whole life was gone. Well, it wasn't a miracle, it was program work. And I'm so much happier now not to have that anger. I was such an angry person my whole life. People didn't know it. I was always smiling, but I hated everybody and I hated myself, the most. Um, Gosh, I'm really skipping around, but for me, the 12 steps and therapy are also a big part of why I'm healthy. But let me go back to I got really, really heavy. I wanted to show some pictures. Oh, could I share? Did I?
Yeah, he'll fix it.
Okay. All right.
Try it now.
Here's one. Oh, am I showing? Yeah, that's like the heaviest I got. I can't. Um, Wait, I don't know what I'm sharing. But anyway, I got really heavy. I went in to get a sleeve, and so I gained 25 extra pounds before that because I was never going to eat again, and I got to my heaviest weight ever. Um, Wait a second. Oh, here we go. I'll get this one.
Risa,
Uh,
that's 7.
oh, thank you. Thanks, Stacy. Yeah, that's how big I was and what I look like now, and then one more. I'll show you. Oh no, that's not this one. My daughter just sent me this one yesterday. Like it's unbelievable. Like well, me and my family, like look at that. Like I can't believe I got that sick. Uh, anyway, I had a lap band that got infected after a year. So I've been thin twice in my life. When I was 21, the doctor gave me really strong yellow jackets and black beauties, and I got really thin. And then I felt really uncomfortable being thin, and I gained it right back. And then when I was 40, I had a lap band. I got thin, and then it got infected, and I gained it right back. And this is the third time in my life that I'm thin. And I didn't realize until Gray Sheet that that's the way my life was. It's always I got thin, I gained it right back. Anyway, I found OA. Well, first after I went in for that operation, and he took me out, and he couldn't do it because I had too much scar tissue. I was devastated. Went home, went on my Fitness Pal, lost 50 pounds counting calories, had a trauma and had to eat more, and went on Atkins. Couldn't lose anything on Atkins because they didn't have weighing and measuring. So I ate tons of carbs. I didn't gain, but I didn't lose. Then I found OA, which was a major miracle for me because I didn't know I was a compulsive overeater. And when I was young, I went to OA and they were talking about God. How is that going to help me lose weight? So I went to OA and the steps just changed my world. Step 4, when I did the steps in OA and read all the character defects, and I had every single one, except for killing somebody. And I realized that I was the problem. I had no idea. That was so amazing to learn that I could change these things. And then I didn't lose weight in OA. No matter what I did, I can't lose. And that was the biggest miracle of my life because that's the only reason why I came to Gray Sheet. Somebody kept saying, go to Gray Sheet, go to Gray Sheet. I'm like, no way. So one day, July 8th, 2019, I decided to try it, and I've never looked back. How crazy is it that we get to eat these 3 magnificent meals and celebrate them and be at peace and dignity? And it's unbelievable. I still feel so blessed that I found Gray Sheet. I can't believe, I can't imagine life without it. Seems really scary. In abstinence, well, I lost 50 pounds before I got here. I've lost like 80 more in abstinence, and it's taken me 5 years. I lose really slow. like half a pound a month. I quit smoking almost 3 years ago and substituted exercise, and I exercise a ton, and that's really helped me. I celebrate my food. I use these like ceramic dishes. Like I love it. I love my food, and I celebrate it. And my sponsor is really big on celebrating and food, and we love our food. And my food's simple, but I love it. I don't eat anything I don't like. I bring this little spice container when I go out, so that when I go out, I can still enjoy my food with the spices that I love. Um, I do service, and people are like, "Oh, you're so nice. You do service." I do service for me. Service is what helps me. Like, who would have known step 12 would be so important? It helps me to lead a meeting. It helps me to help on the website on Facebook. It helps me I was a member of the startup group. Service helps me. I'm not a great sponsor because I'm not good with the balance. I'm not good with, uh, um, what's the word? Boundaries. I'm not good with telling people you should do this. I'm too on the other side, I did this if you wanna. But so yeah, sponsoring's not my big thing. My big thing is, leading meetings and stuff like that, because that's the way I like to be in front of people. I like teaching. I like it, using my excitement to show others, how I am. And in abstinence, like I said, I quit smoking. I got rid of my boyfriend who I lived with. This is the first time in my life I've ever lived alone without a man. I started my own business, pet sitting business, and I'm super successful. Um, I lost my teaching career many years ago to another addiction, well, actually to depression. And for 10 years, I did nothing. And I just gained and gained and gained. And in absence, like I said, I started this business. I love it. I get to get paid to work with dogs. I'm a dog freak. It's crazy. I started this business for just a little extra money, and it got so successful. How it's crazy. Like it's crazy how my life has changed in abstinence. And I started doing stand-up comedy, something I've always wanted to do, and I love it. It's so much fun. And it's a lot of young people, and the young people, they go and go and go. And yeah, I have to go to the city. I live in Bensalem, out right just outside of Philadelphia. I have to go to the city to do comedy. And I've learned that I'm doing it for fun. And I don't have to like freak out if I'm not getting, famous right away. It's not about that. Thanks, Stacey. And what was it? To me, gray sheet is the easier way. People all the time ask me, "How can you do that? How can you not eat sugar? How can you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, I do that because that's the easy way to live." Before gray sheet, I had food noise in my head 24/7. I was never free from the food thoughts. What am I going to eat, and how am I going to stay on my diet, or how much am I going to eat? 24/7 my whole life. I remember experiences my whole life based on what I ate. That's because that was my whole life. Going out was about what were they going to have to eat. Now I can go out and have fun. It's amazing. And bless me, change him. I got rid of resentments. Right now, my favorite thing is emotional mind to wise mind. When I see myself getting annoyed or getting hungry, I know that I'm in emotional mind, and emotional mind is not rational. So what do I do to get to wise mind? To get to wise mind, tell somebody else. So to get to wise mind, I say, well, what would I tell my daughter to do? And I can always get to wise mind that way. Um, and pausing, and also one of my favorite slogans is for today. For today, everything's great. For today, I'm abstinent. For today, I live in a beautiful place. For today, I have the comedy that I love. For today, my business is great. My family's healthy. For today, I'm healthy. I have no pains. When I got that heavy, and even after losing 50 pounds, lived in severe pain. I couldn't stand. I could do nothing. I was a complete prisoner. I have zero pain in my body today. I'm 58 years old. I don't have neck pain, back pain, leg pain, no pain. I feel amazing. I have an amazing sponsor. I love her. And I love coming to the meetings. I go to the Watertown meetings usually, but it's great to be here. Was that my time? Yeah, bless him, changed me. We're so blessed to be in Gray Sheet. Thanks for listening.